So, hello guys. This is the first call that we have as a community team, community and communications team. The objective of the call is that we want to introduce everybody to like the roadmap and the big picture project of the community development team, right? To do so, what we're going to do is that we're going to introduce Ricardo and Fabián, who are the leads of the community team, and they are going to take us in detail to the roadmap and the baselines that we have for the community project. And with the objective overall for you to understand what is DEGA, understand the community principles, the roadmap, and everything else. And also, if you want to be part of the community, you can join. You can write to the community team, and you can start to like to be part of this. We have plenty of work, plenty of things to do, and we will be more than happy for you to join this path with this team. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you Ricardo Ricci, which is the community lead of DEGA. He's going to talk more about himself in a minute. And Fabián, who is our community manager that has been working very hard into the launch of the community. So, and also we have Edu from another DEGA unit, which is development, that is going to be part of the call also, right? So, Ricardo, please.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the call. Well, yeah, as Omar was saying, I'm taking care of advising DEGA in terms of community creation and communication. I have over 6 years of experience in crypto space, and crypto is a wild place for sure. And I've seen a lot of like the building of a community. All the steps also have been around other communities for a long time, because at the beginning also really passionate, but also then contributing with other crypto projects. So I'm now super excited also to be helping DEGA to create a community. And now with some experience of having created communities in the past, I discussed with Omar and Fabián at the beginning that this it makes sense to do this as a organized process. That I've seen some things that later I would have thought maybe I would have like changed this or would have done this better. And then it's great to now have opportunity to build a community from scratch and start organizing everything around. And also super happy to be contributing with Omar and Fabián, which we've been working for quite some time already. And we want to share you, the idea here is that we want you to be part of this journey. We want you to join us, and also we want you to learn with us. If anybody out there is interested in how to build a community, how and why we're doing things, then this is the right video for you, and also this is the right community for you. DEGA is very much about open and transparent communication, so we want to be very open and transparent about all our tasks, everything we're doing. And for that, we begin, maybe we want to take you to this page that we created. Basically, we are using this tool called Notion, and Notion allows you to basically create our team documentation. Wait, I'm not even sharing my screen. I need to share my screen. Just a second. Okay, now I should be sharing my screen.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, yeah, thanks. So let me just go here full screen. So yeah, here we have basically Notion is an incredible tool, super flexible, and it allows us to do it helps people to do everything from like project management, also CRM, support cases, stuff like that. Because it's very flexible, basically you can configure and create databases that are related to each other and display this information in very flexible ways. And that's what we've been doing with Notion. And it's great that we can also share it to the web. So like as you see here, this URL, which we're going to share also in the description of the video, is basically a live feed into the internal workings of the community team. And we created it like building a community is our main goal, our main project. We explain here a little bit of like our reasoning behind this, basically that we want you to join us and to see what we are doing, to be part of it. And also, we're very transparent, as I said, and also horizontal. So if you have any question or if you would to challenge any idea, we always like to discuss this. So please remember to join us in our social media channels, where I'm going to show you quickly, basically DEGA.org in Telegram, but also shoot us a message. Basically here you can, in this drop down, see the community team, and here you have myself and Omar and Fabian. You have our emails, and the cool thing is, if and when, probably soon, we update this and we add, for example, our Telegram handles or our Twitter handles or whatever, you will be able to see this live. So here we have also the main projects that we've been doing, or that we organized. Basically, from the beginning, what we did was, okay, let's first, like, let's take a step back and not start creating like everything from scratch right now. Let's really start thinking about what it takes to build a community. So we do this in an organized fashion, and then we also basically are very efficient at it. So well, started discussing with Carlos, the founder of the project, and also with Omar at the beginning of everything about, because the point here is that, one, if you would see these projects or these steps, each one of these steps is in an orderly fashion, because it is required for the next in some way, or they're dependent of each other. So for example, when we talk about creating a tonality guide or creating the community rules, it is important to first have discussed the community manifesto, which is actually a very important part that we took some time. People would just go and create, I know, Telegram channels and Twitter handles and start communicating. But one thing that we really did was to sit down and have several calls where we discussed, okay, this DEGA thing, what is it? How does it feel for people to be part of it? How should it feel, actually? Because everything then we do now in terms of communication is going to be built on top of a foundation that is basically the manifesto. So for example, here you can click in this project, you can see the tasks that are related to this project. And the reasoning, we always try to add a reasoning. Why is it important? Because it gives a clear foundation to build a community culture, rules of moderation, and to onboard new users. And basically, the requirements that we also usually have in projects is, what is the requirement or the objective of this project or this step? What is it that we actually want to accomplish? What is the point where when we get to this point, we say, okay, a step done, project done. Basically, in this case, we wanted a manifesto. So the manifesto already, we have it actually, and you can find it there as well. And I also, we're going to add a link in the description as well. It's very important for everybody that is joining then to read on the manifesto and really feel what DEGA is about. And then the other steps go on right now with a manifesto that clearly defines how DEGA feels, how it talks, how or why we do things. Also, what is our vision and our ambition roadmap. Then we can, and that's what we're doing now, creating all the community rules, the sub communities, which also had some. Here we can see we actually have a view of all the tasks, and you can be part of that, which we think is very cool. Also, that you can be part of this, see what we're doing in each one of the tasks, right? And basically see if it's done, when it is going to be created. Some of them already have like information, right? Because we've been working on those. Some of them not yet, but we want just to leave out everything out on the open for you guys to see it, to be part of it, and then to be able to discuss with us, right? And then in terms of sub communities and channels, this is something also that maybe Fabian did, and he maybe can share a bit about. He did a research on the current status quo of Web3 in terms of geographical location, languages, and cultural basically areas, because it's very different to build a community for Asia than it is to build a community for Latin America. And we call these sub-communities of the DEGA global community. And then we also wanted to, and this is part of what is, I think, interesting of this approach, we wanted to do a proper research where we say, okay, we are going to take into consideration the communities that are actually important for DEGA. We're not going to go about creating everything for everybody. We believe it's kind of like a process where as more people get on board in the community, then we start creating those other sub communities. But we should already have like the place for them to basically live and to hang out. And from the beginning, it makes sense to organize this. But for example, if we don't create a Telegram channel, maybe somebody goes and takes the handle, and that will be like not very efficient for us. So if we, it's same with Twitter and in general. So we are creating all the sub channels and all the sub communities for us to have it ready, basically. And then we're focusing on the beginning, right? Which is right now English and Spanish communities. And well, you can see just to finish. Then here you can see here all the tasks, all the projects, and then also the internal tasks. And I think this is also, well, as I said, very, very cool that you can go and see here. Each one of these is one of these steps or projects that we saw up here. And down here, we can see, like, for example, all these others. And as we add tasks, because this is not written in stone, right? As we add tasks, we found something that we need to do related to a project, then we will add it here. And you can actually come in and check it out. So now there's two steps that we'll be working on right now. That is like this entire area of sub-communities and also the newsletter. So maybe I would like to introduce you to Fabián, who is going to talk a little bit about the research he did on the areas, which areas are important, why are they important. Maybe, Fabián, if you want to share a little bit about that, and then I'll go back to stop presenting.
Sure.
Okay.
Just as Ricardo said, I focused on research based on Web3 and in its penetration, basically to have a knowledge of the countries that we should focus our communication on, and also to excuse me 1 second, like for DEGA, we should like know where our possible customers or users are located in the world. So for us, it's pretty important to know this information. So basically, I just did the presentation that Ricardo mentioned, which is located in the Notion, actually, I believe. So for you guys to see if you'd like to. Based on this presentation or this research, we created or we based this knowledge to create the accounts that we will be using, focused mainly in English language and Spanish language. For us, it is pretty important to communicate our development and our news to the Asian sector as well. So we are going to focus also in the Chinese language and Korean and Japanese, among others. But in the first steps of the communication, we'll be focusing on the English language and Spanish language mostly. This for a start. In the following months, we're going to develop these other sub-communities that Ricardo mentioned. And we'll be opening accounts in Reddit, Facebook, Discord, YouTube, and some other channels that may be interesting for our community growth and our development. So I'll give the word back to Ricardo so he can show us more about Notion and our development. I'm sorry.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm going to go back to share my screen. Okay. So there's then that being said, here there's another group of information that we can see. Basically, it's our social media channels, and then here we have. Right now, we are in the middle of adding information here because, as Fabián said, we created them and then we are populating this database. And the idea, yeah, is that it's very easy then for us to to keep our database and all our information here, and then to give everybody access to see it. So here you can see basically we have well, the current official Twitter. Then now we have the official Telegram, and as we create the rest, then you'll see them here. We also plan to have a community Twitter, something that is maybe managed by community members and not by the DEGA team. So I think, or we think, community is very important in general. Of like, they should have, or you should have, a way to also communicate and express what you're feeling in your tone in a way that is also very decentralized, right? That is not guided, maybe it's just like supported by us, but it's basically your own thing. So that is also the community one that we're going to add here. The Spanish one, as we said, and then as we start adding more, here we have like a bunch that we are adding, Mandarin, Hindi, which we discussed. For example, in Hindi is not like, it's not a difference in language, because most of people in India actually speak English, but we do think that the cultural difference from English-speaking countries to India deserves, or make India deserves their own sub-community. And yeah, the others here. So as we add more, you will be able to see them here. And the other important thing that right now we are working on is basically the newsletter. In the future, we will continue adding more things. We want to add some bots to these groups that we are just creating. So in this project, we have like research of which are the best bots, and also there's some documentation that we won't be able to share for security reasons, right? Like the way that some bots or some things are configured, but we try as much as we can to share everything with everybody from the community that is following us, and then in general, yeah, you can see everything here. You can like really start going in deep. And this project is the other one that we've been working on. So I think now this is the other thing that maybe Fabián can tell us a little bit about the newsletter. How is it going? What are the next steps? How do I join? How do I start listening or getting news from DEGA's newsletter? So maybe we go back to that part here. Okay, so Fabián, tell us a little bit about the newsletter.
Sure. Well, the newsletter, it's currently under development. However, we have a pretty robust draft right now. And the whole idea is to communicate what's going on, like worldwide, based on Web3, DeFi, and blockchain.
If you want to show it, you can show it. It doesn't matter if it is a work in progress or something like that.
All right. I'll need a second for that, because currently I'm working in that newsletter in my personal computer. So
okay, no worries. Explain that. No worries.
Okay. So back where I left it. So the newsletter is currently under development, but the whole idea is to communicate like what's happening around the world, based in Web3 and blockchain, and also to communicate the development of DEGA, the community stats, and some other relevant information, such as the development updates, and basically it's a tool just to be in touch and to be aware of what's going on inside DEGA for you, the possible subscriber, right? So the whole idea is to send this newsletter like once or twice every month, just to keep our communities informed of what's going on inside the organization. The whole idea of bringing you guys information like outside of DEGA environment, it's to bring some extra value to the newsletter, and for it to doesn't feel like a regular newsletter, like this kind of boring newsletter that nobody reads. So the whole idea is to bring relevant information about relevant topics that are happening currently in the blockchain ecosystem, and based on that, then we can like develop our own set of news and things that are happening inside of DEGA. So that's the whole idea behind the newsletter, and we are thinking to launch it this week, and for it to be like bi-weekly. So probably this same week we are going to start sending that newsletter to our subscribers. So if you get early to this video and would like to be part of DEGA, and maybe you should, or you could leave us your email address, so we can add you into the list that it's going to be well, that we are going to be sending this newsletter. So that's for the newsletter, I think, Ricardo.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, remember, shoot us a message. Now we have a Telegram channel which you can find in Notion, but also we're going to leave the link in the description. It's basically Tega org. You can find in Telegram like that. Also, if you're a Spanish speaker, tenemos un canal en español. So entonces también únanse, sean parte del equipo, and the newsletter basically just send us an email. You can find the emails there in Notion, or just write in the get in the group right there. Hey, I want to be part of the newsletter. Then you get in contact with us and share the email privately, right? So just for security reasons. And of course, the plan here is to use the emails only to send you newsletters, as Fabián said, news about the Web3 space, the decentralized ledger space, like blockchain and other technologies. That's things that DEGA care about, basically, and also, of course, internal announcements of DEGA. But also we want it to be kind of like something that people can read so they can get informed about what is going on. And the whole idea for all this is to give something to the crypto space, or basically to give something to you, to provide you something valuable, something that that you find is helpful or convenient or useful for you. In the newsletter, that's what we want. We want to provide you with news, interesting information that is going to be hopefully useful for you. With this Notion effort, we want you to be part of all the reasoning and the decisions that we make, so you can learn from that, hopefully, and also you can discuss about it with us. And that's, I think, one of the cornerstones of DEGA, and something that we have written in our manifesto. So in general, for everybody there, especially for gamers, come on, join us. We are in a quest to bring decentralization or decentralized technologies to everybody, tapping into the gaming industry first, and that is DEGA Decentralized Gaming. So I think that from my side, that will be it, and I would like to say thank you to everybody who is listening, and also we'll see you in Telegram. Omar, something else that you want to share for now?
Thanks, guys. It was an awesome call. Just to let everybody that is listening to this call or watching us, like, join our community. Like, we really respect, and the reason why we do this is because we want to connect with you. We want you to be part of the DEGA community. If you care about gaming, if you care about Web3, if you care about blockchain, just join the community. Like, write a message. It could be in our site directly to the emails that they're going to be. We're going to leave all emails at the bottom of this video, or just join the Telegram. Say hi, introduce yourselves, because we really want to hear from you guys. Because DEGA is about the community overall, over anything else, right? So thanks for the call, Ricardo, Fabián, awesome call. And you guys out there, expect more calls from us for more updates of the community and the awesome things that we are doing in DEGA. Take care, guys. Bye.